premise of this trick is actually quite complicated. So start from the beginning. It's a normal deck, it's just you do need to stack it right out of the box with this triple on top. And you have a double. It can be whatever you want. I just chose the Jack of Spades. The card in the middle should be very, very normal and non-predictable. By what I mean is don't choose another black face card or even the Ace of Spades because it's too obvious. People are suspicious of Ace of Spades anyway. Regardless, that stays on top, right out of the box. The whole thing adds to the deception. Regardless, now you know. So a couple fake shuffles or cuts, blinds, whatever you're capable of, you should probably do right off the bat. Note that it has to stay in order, or at least those top three have to stay in stack. So I just do a pretty typical fake shuffle and then a quick cut. This is all totally false. It all stays in the exact same order each time. See, you can do it every time. The blind is particularly a good one, especially for front-facing viewers, or even all the way around, really, they don't catch it. So you cut a strip off however many packs, and back on top, and you still have your three remaining. So go out, learn the odd fake shuffle, cut, blind, riffle, whatever you like. I'm not really good at any blind riffles. We could try one. Nah. Anyway, we'll move on from that. So now that the audience believes that this is now shuffled, not knowing these three are still planted on top, regardless, so they think it's just a random card. You would flip it then, hence, right? Now, the next trick is a pretty common magician's move. It's called the top palm. I'll show you it very quickly. So the whole deal, it's much simpler to do actually to hold the deck here. You can do it in one hand. The one hand looks quite convincing, it's good. It's just the palming on the other half. So if you see, it's hard to hide. You'd almost pull it back, correct it now with one hand, and now you have a better palm for the front audiences, right? Now how that's particularly done, like I say with two hands, it's much simpler. You're just going in with your pinky right there, and all you're gonna do is push with just your pinky. You're gonna hold it as such, and see the pinky is on almost where the pip would be, right? And you're gonna quickly push it just with the pinky, and it's gonna shoot it into a full palm, right? So it looks like it quickly disappears. Now, the nice touch about this, you're gonna have to learn a double lift, because immediately, if you remember, you have a double of this card under two, correct? So you're gonna wanna take two cards here, better than I'm showing you. Just quickly, if you can get a pinky break in the meantime, do it, and then grab it, and flip it. So now it appears that you just immediately flip the card with a wave of your hand, which is pretty cool. That's a trick in itself, right? If you don't want to do this whole setup with the three cards and the double lifts, and now you're going to double lift it back over, right? While they're looking at that, because they're already going to be looking at this jack. You just double lifted, correct? Another tip on the double lift. When you do the lift, catch it here. Because now you don't need to find a break again when you go and flip it. They're going to have a reaction right now. While this is still palmed in this hand, quickly pocket it. If you notice, they will not see you do this. You can put it in any pocket, really. I should have put it in my breast pocket, really, because I'm telling you, they're looking at this card right now. They're quite baffled on how you flipped it like that. Now that that's loaded in my right pocket, you quickly, now that this is broke, you can easily double lift it again, back over. And what I love to do now is hand them this top card. And because it was a double lift, this card is not the jack. But they're going to think it is because you just flipped it. They won't question that at all. Now, a good tip, because if you just get somebody to grab this, you'll get 1 in 10, 15 people that will flip it right away. So don't. A quick way to avoid it is actually get them to do a thumbs up and then grab the card and then hold it in front of you. People follow commands. They don't want to screw up. So they'll hold this right now. Whilst they are holding this card and you are looking them in the face, okay, they will keep eye contact or look at their card because they don't want you to do something tricky with their card. But what you have to remember, we're going to put this down and pretend it's in the spectator's hand here, is that you have this double jack still here, right? Whilst you're talking to them and looking at them in the face, or they are looking at that card, quickly clear this card. And now you can put this deck right down, right? And that's clean, because they're not going to suspect this even if they look. It's not another jack, correct? So, while they think this is still the jack of spades in their thumbs, like so, as a spectator would hold it, tell them to give it a quick wave, and now they can look at the card. You flip it, it's no longer the jack in their mind, so that in itself is another moment of magic. And then you quickly can show them in your pocket it has switched, and they will react. Correct. And then they can also inspect the deck, and it's the only jack. If you are ambitious and you get good at this while you're holding it, and I'll show you how I quickly cleared that secondary jack while it was on top. This is called a Cardini change. Well, I like to just hold it and never move my hands. And if you watch slowly, it quickly pulls down. And what I do there is now it's gone. What's happening without this cover of this hand, you can do it with a wave or anything, but in this scenario, you would want to be very relaxed. So without this hand, you're just pulling it to the side like that, and then slowly lifting the deck, and it's going underneath. And you're now clean. But if you want to be proficient at this, you could quickly do it on top, right? Put it underneath, and now, while pulling the deck away to put it on the table, you gamblers cop it. So now it's in this hand. While they are reacting to this, you can throw it in an opposite pocket. They can now fully inspect this deck and be clean with no doubles, and they will have no idea on how this was done. Enjoy. And remember, learning any of these 3 tricks can be combined into many different routines. Parts of it